Salawat. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. Al-Fatiha.
बर मुहम्मद वाले मुहम्मद सलावत अस्सलामु अलैकुम जमीआ व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू. Morning, today's Ruhani Majlis announcements. Majlis by the family of Marhum Amir Ali Jamal Datu for the Isale Sawab of Marhum Ghulam Sher Ali, Marhum Sheikh Yusuf Nafsi, Marhuma Tasneem Bai Awan, Marhuma Sugra Bai Ramji, Marhuma Marzia Bai Datu and Kul Marhumins. Majlis by Al-Haj Amir Ali Bai Muhammad Ali Walji for the Isale Sawab of Marhum Muhammad Ali Bai Walji, Marhuma Zainab Bai Muhammad Ali Walji, Marhuma Kaniz Fatima Muhammad Ali Walji, Marhum Mohsin Muhammad Ali Walji and Kul Marhumins. Majlis by the family of Marhum Al-Haj Ramzan Ali Muhammad Ali Walji for the Saleh Sawab of Marhum Muhammad Ali Bai Walji, Marhum Ramzan Ali Muhammad Ali Bai Walji, Marhuma Maryam Bai Muhammad Ali Walji, Marhuma Shirin Bai Muhammad Ali Walji, Marhum Ali Bai Bhimji, Marhuma Kulsum Bai Bhimji, Marhuma Salma Bai Walji and Kul Marhumins. Mu'minin, you are humbly requested to recite Surah Fatiha for Kul Marhumins. Al-Fatiha.
Salawat. Nare Takbir, Nare Risalat, Nare Haidari. नजादे कश्ती दी के लिए मंजिल बना देना, नजाते कश्ती दी के लिए मंजिल बना देना. बहुत दुश्वार था तूफानों साहिल बना देना, बहुत दुश्वार था तूफान को साहिल बना देना. ये तेरा काम था ऐ फातिमा की गोद में पाले, ये तेरा काम था ऐ फातिमा की गोद में पाले. बहते दिल के टुकड़े जोड़कर एक दिल बना ना देना. सलवात.
Mu'minin now request upon Master Abbas Laka to come and deliver his 2-minute speech. Please let's all welcome the young man with a loud Nare Salawat.
Salawat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today we have gathered to welcome the holy month of Muharram, a significant time in the Islamic calendar. Muharram is not only the first month of the Islamic lunar year, but also a period rich in spiritual reflection and historical significance. Muharram, which means forbidden in Arabic, is one of the 4 sacred months in Islam, during which warfare is prohibited. This month reminds us of importance of peace and dedication to our faith. It is a time for us to renew our commitments to righteous compassion and justice. The most notable day in Muharram is the day of Ashura, the 10th day of the month. This day holds great significance for all Muslims, not only for us Shias. For us, the Shia Muslims, it commemorates the martyrdom of Imam Husaini ibn Ali, the grandson of our beloved Prophet Muhammad. His unwavering stand for justice, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, serves all a timeless lesson of courage and faith. As we enter this holy month, let us take the opportunity to reflect on these historical events and their profound lessons. Let us also increase our acts of worship, such as fasting, prayer, and giving to those in need. Let us seek to purify our hearts, strengthen our community bonds, and extend our hands in friendship and solidarity to all. May this Muharram bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, enrich our souls, and inspire us to live with greater compassion, humility, and integrity. May Allah bless us all during this sacred month. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Al-Fatiha.
A big thank you, Abbas Lakha. I would now like to introduce the second 2-minute speech, and that's by Master Mikhail Walji. Again, let's please all welcome the young man with a loud Nare Salawat.
Salawat. Sallallahu alayki ya Rasulullah, sallallahu alayki ya Nabi Allah, wa ala ahli baytika al-madhlumin al-ma'sumin. Salawat. Imam Hussein writes in his letter to Muhammad al-Hanafiya, in the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. إني لم أخرج أشرا ولا بطرا ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما وإنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمتي جدي أريد أن آمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر وأسير بسيرة جدي وأبي علي بن أبي طالب. I did not rise for the cause of wickedness, amusement, corruption, or oppression, but I rose to reform the Muslim community of my grandfather. I want to promote virtue and prevent evil. I wish to bring them back to the path of my grandfather, the Messenger of Allah, and of my father Ali ibn Abi Talib. On the 2nd of Muharram, Imam Hussein enters the land of Karbala. He says to his companions, people are the slaves of this world, and religion is only a lip service. They will take care of it for its pleasure, and when trials approach, only a few remain. Those few we see on the 10th of Muharram, when Qasim asks, am I too on the list of martyrs? Hearing this, the Imam was moved and said, oh my son, how do you consider death? Qasim replied, it is sweeter than honey. Imam said, by Allah, you are one of them, who shall be martyred along with me, and my infant son Ali Asghar shall be martyred too. And when the time came, Qasim left for the battlefield. with tears flowing from his eyes, saying, "If you do not know me, I am the son of Hassan, the grandson of the Prophet, the chosen one. Verily I am Qasim from the progeny of Ali. By the Lord of the house, we possess greatness while being related to the Prophet." He fiercely fought the enemy and he put to sword 35 men. It is narrated that Qasim was surrounded by the enemy from all sides, and Ibn Fudail al-Azadi attacked. Qasim fell upon the ground, and the enemy horses trampled Qasim. When the sand rested, Imam Hussein was left standing by the head of Qasim, saying, "Far be the nation who have killed you, while the enemy on the day of resurrection shall be your grandfather." Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. You have inspired us to be the best that we can be, and from your tragedy we have learned how to live. We will always stay strong, standing up against what is wrong. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We can change this world for good. Stand for why you had stood. We will fight for the truth, being brave in our youth. We know it's our duty to prepare for Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. You have witnessed suffering, your beloved perishing. Enemies were cheering as your tents were all burning. We have learned from your patience to rely on God's wisdom. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. We are your young army, O Hussein and Mahdi. We are yours, we are yours, we are yours. By Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
صلوات. اے میری قوم کے بچوں آزاداری ضروری ہے. اے میری قوم کے بچوں آزاداری ضروری ہے. ابو طالب کے بچوں سے وفاداری ضروری ہے. سنو اپنے عمل سے تم یزیدوں کا جھکا دو سر. چلے آؤ جلوسوں میں علم عباس کا لے کر. بتا دو ساری دنیا کو علمداری ضروری ہے. ابو طالب کے بچوں سے وفاداری ضروری ہے. میری قوم کے بچوں آزاداری ضروری ہے. ابو طالب کے بچوں سے وفاداری ضروری ہے. نعرہ حیدری. صلوات.
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. لوری ارمانوں سے بھرپور سنا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. تیر کے آگے میرے لال تجھے ہونا ہے. دیکھ کر تیری ہنسی ظلم نے بھی رونا ہے. جو طریقے ہیں لڑائی کے سکھا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. تجھ کو ایک بار دفن بابا تیرے کر دیں گے. پھر تجھے نیز سقیفہ کے وہاں ڈھونڈیں گے. دشت کی گرم ہواؤں سے بچا لوں میرے اصغر آجا. آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، تیری معصوم سکینہ کو پلا کے پانی کل تیری پیاس بجھائے گا علی کا ثانی۔ میں تجھے دیکھ کے پیاس اپنی بجھا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا۔ تو جو روئے گا تو ماں چین نہیں پائے گی، تیرے رونے سے سکینہ بھی تڑپ جائے گی۔ ہو جا خاموش میں بابا کو بلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا۔ ایسا لگتا ہے ابھی رات گزر جائے گی، پھر میرے لال تجھے مائے کہاں پائے گی، تیرے جھولے کو میں ایک بار جھلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، آج عباس بھی مقتل میں چلے جائیں گے، تیرے بابا بھی تجھے ساتھ میں لے جائیں گے، آ تجھے گود میں ایک بار اٹھا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، ہے تو آخر کو وہ ماں کہتا ہے زائر کا یقین، ڈھونڈتی ہوگی اسے رو رو کے راہوں میں کہیں، کہتی ہوگی کہ تیرے ناز اٹھا لوں میرے اصغر آجا، آج کی رات تجھے گودی میں سلا لوں असगर आजा पर मोहम्मद व आल मोहम्मद सलवात।
बर मुहम्मदिन व आले मुहम्मद सलवात। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद। Mu'minin, due to the volume of attendees of the evening Muharram program, you are kindly and humbly requested to attend on time. Once the majlis has commenced and the gents Imam Barga has reached capacity, the door will be closed to reduce the disturbance to the lecturer and to those already present. Gents, please therefore use the masjid as the overflow. We thank you very much for your cooperation and understanding. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept everyone's azadari and our sacrifice. Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat. Mu'minin, before the lecture starts, there's lots of gaps. Other Mu'minin would also like to come and sit for, say, Imam Hussein. So please be kind of, please come forward as much as you can. Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat. Mu'minin, and a very final request. If your phones are on, please, humbly requesting you all to please put your phones on silent. Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat. Mu'minin, we now request upon Dr. Sayyid Ammar Nakshawani Sahib to come and deliver his lecture. Please, let's all welcome with a loud nare salawat. Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat. Mu'minin, humble request, once the lecture has started, you are kindly remember to please be seated throughout the lecture. Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية سيدي ومولاي علي بن أبي طالب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. أما بعد، إني لأعلم أنها زوجته في الدنيا والآخرة، ولكن الله ابتلاكم لتتبعوه أو إياها. The first of our loud salawat in honor of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The second even louder salawat in honor of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. The third with your loudest voices in honor of the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asr wa zaman. Respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Why did the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family marry Aisha? Is without a doubt a question that is being asked by many within Shia circles. Indeed, this question is a question which is often repeated in question and answer sessions. That why would the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family marry Aisha, considering with hindsight one looks at the events and how they unfolded in Islamic history? Such a question is asked by youths and elders alike. At the end of the day, a person may be involved in discussions within their household or outside of their household. Sometimes we imagine that such discussions are only related to non-Shia. No, on the contrary. Even amongst the Shia community, you'll find that there are many who ask this plausible question. That why would the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family marry somebody who would eventually be a person who stands up against his holy household? Because we know very well that this question comes from a number of angles. One angle is our belief that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family has some sort of ilm al-ghaib. All of us, and virtually every school in the religion of Islam theologically, believes that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa has certain knowledge of the unseen as well as the seen. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights that there are some of our servants, meaning some of our messengers, who we may give access to ilm which others may not get. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim in Surah 72, verse 26 to 27, you have Alimul Ghaib, فَلَا يُظْهِرُ عَلَى غَيْبِهِ أَحَدًا إِلَّا مَنْ ارْتَضَى مِنْ رَسُولٍ. He has knowledge of the unseen, and none has that access to that knowledge except of his messengers who he is pleased with. Of his messengers who he is pleased with, no doubt the one who he is pleased with more than any other is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Likewise, the ayat al-Kursi, within it, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. None has access to that knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except those who are chosen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family, access to knowledge which others may not be privy to. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa is able to tell you, depending on Allah, not independent of Allah, depending on Allah about an event that may happen in the future. Even battles that took place like Jamal, like Siffin, like Karbala, one way or the other, were discussed by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Rasulullah did not shy away from telling his people, even the masa'ib of Karbala, al-Husaini alayhi salam. If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa knows all of this, then why, Ya Rasulullah, with all that knowledge that you've been given, would you marry somebody who, of course, later on comes towards your successor and your son-in-law and your cousin and the Amir of the Mu'mineen, raising an army against him? One would raise this question for both the Shia and the Sunni. The Sunni would turn around and say that if the Prophet thought that Aisha was a lady not to be revered, then why would Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam marry her? Many times we hear this being asked to us, and not just by our Sunni brethren, no, even by the Shia. That there are some amongst the Shia who say, if someone like this is not as good as you say they are, then why would Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi marry her? Why did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi put us in the state of confusion? As we know, the theologies of the two, and in the coming nights, inshallah, I'll try and open up a few of these theologies. The theologies of the two differ when it comes to understanding the status of the wives. Really, literally, polar opposites. In the Sunni world, a wife in reality can do no wrong. In the same way we have 14 ma'soomeen, one may argue that in the Sunni world, you have pretty much 9, 10 who are ma'soomeen. Of course, the Sunni would reply by saying, no, they make mistakes. But the way you treat us, if we analyze their actions, we might as well say they're ma'soom. Because the moment a Shi'i wants to breathe, automatically they are jumped at. You Shia are not respecting the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Not respecting means what? Means I cannot even dissect history? Is that what you mean? Because if I can't dissect history, then you've got a monopoly on history, and no one gave you a monopoly on history. Since when did you have a monopoly that Islam's 1400 years was this very rosy 1400 that there's no disagreements in whatsoever? You have a narrative, I have a narrative. You have a reading and I have a reading. You have books and I have books. Why should I be subject to your barometer? At the end of the day, if you have your reading of this personality, I have my reading of this personality. For you, she may have made it into aqa'id. For me, they never made it into aqa'id. For you, you always say to us that aqa'id is belief in Allah, which is what we do, and belief in nubuwwah, and belief in qiyamah, and belief in malaika, and belief in the angels. If we can all agree on that, then you agree, I'm a Muslim, you're a Muslim. After that, I am not subject to having to agree to the rest of your narrative, nor are you subject to agreeing to mine. If you don't want to believe in imamah, you don't have to believe in imamah, that's your prerogative. If I do not want to put everybody of the Sahaba or the wives on the same level, then I don't have to. Why? Because I have a particular worldview and a particular reading of the books of history. This brings us on, therefore, to this issue, that when a person wants to examine why the Prophet married Aisha, it doesn't sadden me that the non-Shia gives an answer. It saddens me that many of the Shia cannot answer. If you ask yourself right now, in your own conscious mind, what answer would I give if my son asked me that question? What answer would I give if my brother asked me that? If my wife asked me? If my classmate asked me? What answer would you give? Some would turn around and say, Allah decided. Some will turn around and say that Rasulullah must know best. No, the answer is in the Quran, and the answer is clearly within Sunni literature. Someone says within the Quran is the answer. Yes, but not just within the Quran. Even within Sahih al-Bukhari is a clear statement of why Allah made Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi marry Aisha. The statement which we will reveal tonight to make clear and answer this question once and for all, so that everybody understands what really is a sad issue but a simple issue. Sad because whenever you are tested in life, know that no one went through tests like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And no prophet was hurt like this prophet. And no man was tortured with the behavior of those who he thought were his friends the way he was. Tonight, I'd like to answer this question, and I'd like to do it in the following stages. Number one, which prophets in the Quran did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlight that just because they married someone does not mean that's a stamp of approval on those people? Number two, how did the marriage of those prophets get mentioned within the Quran? Number three, who else is mentioned in that same surah? Number four, what is it in the life of the Prophet when he marries Khadija and the marriages after Khadija? Are they for the same reason or for different reasons? Number 5, how did Aisha prove to be a test for him and all his wives and his daughters and his son-in-law in every aspect of their life? Number 6, how does Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib in Sahih al-Bukhari, which I'll show on the screen when I come to the point, how does Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam in Sahih al-Bukhari say, go and get ready to fight her? And how does Ammar bin Yasir explain that the reason why Rasulullah married Aisha was for Allah to test whether we'd follow his path or Aisha's path? And how clear is this within Sahih al-Bukhari? Number 7, thousands have died in Gaza and many innocent Muslims. How about the mother who saw many innocent Muslims at Jamal? Is Jamal different to Gaza? Or should we look at the crimes in a similar manner? Number 8, how could you fight one member of Ahlul Bayt? And how could you use that as an excuse 25 years later to say that if she could fight the dad, what's wrong with me and Sham killing the son? Let me examine this and dissect the topic in complete depth. When it comes to the issue of why the Prophet married Aisha, I could raise the same question to Prophets Nuh and Lut alayhim as-salam. If Prophet Nuh was alive today and Prophet Lut was alive today, I'll ask them about their wives, Waghila and Wahila. Prophet Nuh and Prophet Lut alayhim as-salam were 2 of the most renowned prophets of the 124,000 that were sent. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, we see him as Ulul Azm. He is one of the men who is known as the men of forbearance, those people who persevered on a path of difficulty. That Nabi Nuh and Nabi Lut in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah 66 verse number 10 tells us that they are an example for disbelievers. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Who are the examples? Their wives were an example for all disbelievers. ضرب الله مثلا للذين كفروا امرأة نوح وامرأة لوط. Allah gives the example to those who disbelieve. The wife of Nuh and the wife of Lut. Wait, if a prophet of God is married to someone, surely that's a stamp, Jannah. Nah. Not in the Quranic philosophy, maybe in your philosophy. Because if you have venom against Ali ibn Abi Talib, anyone who fights him you have to put a stamp on. But that's for another mimbar and another occasion. This, when you look at Nuh, Nuh, his wife, was his bitter enemy. But Nuh alayhi salam, when he marries his wife, is she a Muslim or no? Yes. Otherwise, Nabi Nuh would not marry someone who's not a Muslim. Do we agree or no? What is the criteria to be a Muslim? Because in this world, we have 3 levels. Muslim, Mu'min, Shia. Muslim is the one who just utters La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. My cousin is marrying a British guy. He doesn't know about Islam. She doesn't know about Islam. But she's like, this is the only way mom and dad will accept. I make the guy say 8 words. He's now joined the religion. I have to call him Muslim. Muslim is what? 8 words. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Automatically the person has become Muslim. They pray, they fast, they do what and when. No, you may never see them in the mosque after that nikah ever again in your life. That person is a Muslim. A mu'min, someone who believes in the tenets of Islam, and someone who goes on to believe in the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. A Shi'i is someone who practices that which they believe. A person who's a mu'min believes in Ali ibn Abi Talib, but he still may be the one loudest music in the car, smoking weed, doing whatever. He says, I love Ali ibn Abi Talib, but he does every other thing. That you cannot classify as Shia. Now, Nabi Nuh, his wife, what is she? Nabi Nuh's wife is a Muslimah. She uttered the Shahada, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and I swear that Nuh is the Rasulullah. Let's go back to that time, correct? She uttered the Shahada. When she utters it, automatically she's a Muslim. But it doesn't mean she passes all the other categories of being from the Shia of Nuh alayhi salam. True? That lady, if she has a particular war waged against Nabi Nuh, or she's rude to Nabi Nuh, or she encourages people to hurt Nabi Nuh, that person automatically dies what? As a believer? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say she died not that religious. Allah said, ضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا امرأة Nuh. We give an example to those who disbelieve, the wife of Nuh alayhi salam. Because the wife, just because you marry her, you don't have some touch where, oh, I touched you, you are now going to heaven. Not at all. You have your musalla, I have my musalla. You have your qabr, I have my qabr. You have your sajda, I have my sajda. You don't pray, you're my missus, but you don't pray. What? Just because you're married to me, Maulana X, or because you're married to Sheikh Y, automatically, what are you? Virgin Mary on the earth? Not at all. You have your life to live, I have my life to live. Therefore, the Quran said, number one, Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, his wife ended up being of those people who didn't join the ark of Noah. You know the ark of Nabi Nuh? Sometimes, subhanallah, an animal gets more hidayah than a human being. Allah was right when He said, oh Allah, some of them are worse than cattle. Yes? The animal makes it to the ship of a prophet, and the human being does not see with that basira to see there's a prophet. His wife and his son, because you know there are some who assume that you love someone because he's the son of a prophet. I don't love Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam because he's the grandson of Rasul. I love Hussein because he's Hussein. I don't love someone because of association. I love them because of merit. Yes, Islam doesn't have this thing because I'm related to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Automatically I should be the leader. No. Who Allah chooses on this earth, that is God's leader on the earth. Therefore, Prophet number one, who was married to a lady, who when he married her was a Muslimah, but ended up being his biggest enemy, Nabi Nuh alayhi salam. Prophet number two, the understudy of Nabi Ibrahim, Nabi Lut alayhi salam. Nabi Lut, when Sodom and Gomorrah were doing what they were doing, Nabi Lut alayhi salam saw that community and he was warned that, listen, that community is trouble, but your missus is one of them. But hold on, she's living with me. She sees me do ibadah. She sees me receive revelation. She knows how much sujood I do and how much fasting I do and how much tasbih I do. When the heart is made of stone, you won't see anything. Yeah? Doesn't matter. But I'm married to a prophet. The prophet cannot put a gun to your head and say, be religious. The prophet can only remind you. A prophet can warn you. But no prophet can actually come and just say that you're forced to be religious. All he can say is remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have taqwa of Allah. Be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the role of the prophet of Allah. Otherwise, if prophets automatically can make their wives or their sons religious, Adam would have made Qabil religious and Yaqub would have made his sons religious. True? Adam could have easily told Qabil, Qabil, come here next to me, let me tap your head. Now you are religious. No. Qabil looked at his dad. He said, I want to kill Habil. End of story. I'll kill him. Just because I'm the son of a Maulana doesn't make me religious. Just because I am the grandson of a marja doesn't make me religious because I've got that badge. I have to earn it. Therefore, you found that what happened with him? Nabi Lut, his wife, she is a Muslimah. Yes, she is Muslimah, no doubt. She uttered the kalima. Don't we all agree that she uttered the kalima? She believed in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She uttered the kalima. But uttering the kalima at the beginning is not the important thing. It's in the last breath that it's the important thing. How many of you here is there when we come to the mosque, we could do La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, all of our lives. But the most important moment, one may argue, is when we're dying. Because I don't want that tongue stuttering. I want that tongue to be a tongue that is firm on its belief. Nabi Lut alayhi salam, his wife was born on the path, was living in her husband's house. But subhanallah, like shaitan showed us, it doesn't matter how much ibadah that you do. A moment of takabbur ruins all of that. Yep. A moment where your pride or arrogance overtakes you, unless tawbah is done. If tawbah is done, All of us have had our moments. All of us have committed sins. But if we do tawbah, however, you never know when that last moment is due. You're never knowing. Therefore, the Quran, what did it say? That these two were living with two of our righteous servants. كانتا تحت عبدين من عبادنا صالحين فخانتاهما. They were both living. Two ladies, Muslim ladies at the beginning of their marriages, were living with the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of that time, and they ended up what? Betraying that Prophet. Why the Quran mentioned this? The Quran didn't just stop there. Quran then said, we told them, enter hellfire with the rest of them. Ya Allah. A Nabi's wife could enter hell? That's impossible. You must be joking. Nabi Nuh, the poor man, his wife, Quran says, we told her, enter hell. So what if you're married to a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You're married to a prophet, you follow the wasiyah of that prophet. You're married to a prophet, you follow the risala of that prophet. Otherwise, what makes you better than everybody else? Why should you, just because I'm born arbitrarily and I got married to so-and-so, that makes me better than you? And that's why the Quran, when it looked at the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, the Quran made it clear to them, Ya nisa al-Nabi, لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ إِنِ اتَّقَيْتُنَّ. O wives of the Prophet, you are not like any other wives if you have taqwa. Why in ittaqaytunna? Why if you have taqwa? If you don't have taqwa, then you're the missus of the man. It doesn't make you holy because you're married to the man. If the man wakes up for Fajr and you're fast asleep, you cannot be at the same level as him. True? He is waking up for Fajr and you're fast asleep. Just because you're his missus doesn't make you holy. Therefore, the Quran in Surah 33 verse 32 had set a criteria for the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And you know the funny thing about this ayah, Ya nisa al-Nabi, lastunna ka'ahadin min al-nisa, people always quote the beginning and don't finish it. Some will tell you, O wives of the Prophet, look, you are not like any other wives. That sounds really positive. No one's like you. Continue, if you have taqwa. In ittaqaytunna means what? Means that some of you will have that God consciousness, but there are some who could slip as well. Yes? And that's why when you come to examine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you look at his wives, you see what happened in the order of the wives. In the order of the wives, the Prophet got married at the age of 25, and he married Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam. When he married Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam, that's what you call pure love. Why? Marries a lady at 25 years of age. He stays with her for 26 years until she dies. And in those 26 years, in the prime of his youth, when he can marry anyone, he doesn't marry anyone else but Khadija alayhi salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi could have easily married others at that time. If for goodness sake, if we're allowed 4 and he is allowed more than that, he could also go and marry at the same. No. For him, Sayyidah Khadija was everything. For him, Sayyidah Khadija was his whole life. Why? Because she believed in him when no one else believed in him. Correct? No one else believed in him. She and Amir al-Mu'mineen were the triumvirate who used to be loyal to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was with him in the Sha'b of Abu Talib. Yes? Her and Abu Talib and Amir al-Mu'mineen, all of them were together. They remained loyal to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. When Khadija died, it wasn't a day of grief. It wasn't 40 days of grief. It wasn't 2 months and 8 days of grief. It was 1 year of grief. A year of grief. That this lady, my backbone, has passed away. She was my all. She was my everything. And above all else, she gave me daughters, but especially Fatima alayhi salam. Yep. That's Sayyidah Khadija. When she died, after that, Rasulullah married Sauda. And then after Sauda, he married Aisha. And then he continued to marry the other wives. These other wives that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam married were for different reasons. For example, Zainab bin Jahsh, his cousin, he married her. Why? He married her because she was originally married to his adopted son, who? Zayd. In those days, you could not marry the ex-wife of your adopted son, because they took the adopted like he's your real son. Your adopted son is not like your real son. True? Yes, adopted, you're looking out, but it's not your real son. So if your adopted son gets divorced, can you marry his Yes, because he's not like your real son. My son, if he gets divorced, I cannot marry his ex. But my adopted son to the Arabs was like the real son. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa married Zainab bin Jahash. What was the reason? The reason that he married Zainab bin Jahash was to remove that tribal custom. Why did he marry, for example, Habiba, the daughter of Abu Sufyan? Abu Sufyan, his daughter Muawiyah's sister, was married to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Habiba, her husband, was one of those who apostatized. He left Islam, became a Christian in Abyssinia. This lady was one of the Muslims who had no one to look after her. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi safeguarded her honor. Hafsa, daughter of Umar, was of those people who Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi married after she had been widowed twice. Her husbands had died. There was at that time even a taboo against widows. Even today, when a lady becomes a widow, we have a taboo. Why should you marry a widow? He marries her, that there's nothing wrong with someone if they become a widow, they can remarry. In Islam, there's no issue. Each of these, therefore, is different from Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam. Sayyidah Khadija, Rasulullah doesn't say the heavens have told me that she is married, adopted son, law, widow. No. Khadija is my life. Khadija is my everything. Therefore, if there's a reason for each one, widow, adopted son, and so on, then what is the reason for Aisha? The reason for Aisha is given in the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari. And the reason I mention this is to continue what we've done since Shahr Ramadan, which is not just say on Mambar where something is, but show it to everyone on the screen. In the past, when we would give majalis, people would give a lecture or a story, but they don't show it. But when you look at this particular hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, on the chapter of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him and his family, you have this very interesting incident. What is the incident? The incident is clearly marked in Bukhari. Minhal, if we can have it, please on the screen, so everyone can see it. Thank you, my great friend Minhal. Look over here, Sahih al-Bukhari. Those of you who maybe cannot see it on the screen because you're in the majlis, or you don't have the angle, those of you who are watching online, all of you look at this hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari. This is not Sahih al-Nakshawani. This is not Sahih al-Karbala'i. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. So that just in case someone says, why do you mention such things? If it's in their books, I don't need to mention anything from me. Look what it says. When Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam sent Ammar bin Yasir, focus here, and Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam to the people of Kufa to urge them to fight. Imam Ali sends Ammar bin Yasir and who? Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam to urge the people of Kufa to fight who? Aisha. To who? Aisha. Hold on, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Why don't we make things a bit more peaceful from Imam Ali alayhi salam? Imam Ali, man of peace, man of mercy. Or is that the one you wanted to create because it suited your life at that time? Because he doesn't look like he's taking any prisoners here, does he? Ammar bin Yasir, Sunni world. Ammar bin Yasir, Sahabi. Ammar bin Yasir, Jannah. Ammar bin Yasir's words are a hujjah. Ammar bin Yasir and who? Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. Who we ended up saying Imam al-Hasan's not brave. Imam al-Hasan is leading a cavalry saying, get ready. The camel rider's coming to town. When Ali ibn Abi Talib sent Ammar and Imam al-Hasan to the people of Kufa to urge them to fight, Ammar addressed them saying, I know that Aisha is the wife of the Prophet in this world and the hereafter. But Allah has put you to test whether you follow Allah or her. Ooh. Minhal, end it there, please, and come back to me. What have I just done? What have I just done? I haven't even used the Shia book. This is devastating. I haven't even used the Shia book. I've used Bukhari. إني Ammar says لأعلم أنها زوجته في الدنيا والآخرة. I know that she is his wife in this world and the hereafter. Everyone will remember in this world and the hereafter she's his wife. ولكن الله ابتلاكم. But Allah has put you in trial. لتتبعوه أو إياها. Whether you end up following Allah or her. If her path is Allah, how could there be a division? If her path is the path of Allah, he doesn't need to say you follow Allah or her. That means Ammar gave the answer to why the Prophet married her. Because she acted as a test for him and acts as a test for us. How is she a test for him? The miracle of the man, with all her rudeness throughout his life, the man remains the best of akhlaq throughout with her. Take this on board. Someone says, what do you mean? How many times you read her rudeness towards him? Her rudeness to Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam. When he would remember Sayyidah Khadija, why do you always remember the lady of the old gums? Have respect. How? Who would say that? Wallah, who would say that? Who would say that? You as a Muslim who's watching this lecture, take away all of your animosity and your hate and trolling me. Put that all aside. Okay? Put that all aside. A lady who insults Sayyidah Khadija, if the Shi'i dares to open his mouth, straight away you call me a Rafidi dog. When Aisha opens her mouth against Khadija, best wife of the Prophet. Not just Khadija, she was a test for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By insulting Khadija, she hurt Rasulullah. I ask you, someone who hurts Rasulullah, what happens to them? Yani, just use your aql. Aql. So I don't need to go further. Use your aql. Someone who hurts Rasulullah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُؤْذُونَ اللَّهِ. You've read the ayah in the Quran. And his Prophet. لَعَنَهُمَ اللَّهِ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. Can you imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting amongst us? Can you imagine he was sitting amongst us and you insulted Sayyidah Khadija? Wallah, none of us would do it. None of us. And do you know what they write or what they say? This is just jealousy of woman. I'm not getting it. Is she the most pious or is it jealousy of woman? Because even you're confusing me now. Test for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Part 2 is what? Is that Rasulullah gets tested by Allah, not just me and you. This is an important point. Sometimes people imagine the 14 ma'sumin, they make them like they're robots. They have no feelings, no emotion. They're just robots walking. Ahlul Bayt have as much emotion and hurt and more than we do. Ahlul Bayt are tested by Allah, not just us. You think that you can reach the level of Iman that Ahlul Bayt did unless they pass through test after test after test? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi was tested by Allah through the presence of this lady. That how would Rasulullah react when he goes to Jannat al-Baqi and she chases him in the night? Read! He's gone to Jannat al-Baqi and in the middle of the night she chases him. Why? Why are you chasing the man? Let the man just go to Jannat al-Baqi. This same lady knows Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam is an orphan, and she insults Fatima and hurts Fatima. And forget the other wives. The other wives, she was a nightmare for them, the other wives. Safiya. Safiya was originally Jewish. Aisha would sit there. I'm the daughter of so-and-so. She's the daughter of so-and-so. Which ancestry is yours? Because she's trying to tell her you're a Jew. It's a test. It's a test in the house. Which other wife was tested? Maria al-Qibtiyya. Rasulullah, 2 of his wives only gave him children. Only 2. Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam and who? Mary the Coptic. She gave him Ibrahim. Test for her. Jealousy. Why is she given a child to him and I haven't? Rasulullah marries her because he knows on the first level that is his test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like it was the test of Nuh and the test of Lut with their wives. They were all, I could be tested with my wealth. You could be tested with your health. You could be tested with your kids. You could be tested with your wife. You could be tested, whoever it is. All of us have a different test. That was his test. But the other test was what? So that we would be tested. Whether we follow Aisha or we follow Allah. Is that my Sahih or Bukhari saying? What did Ammar bin Yasir say? Look at this test, ask yourself. Have you passed this test or no? And then after it say, Alhamdulillah, الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية أمير المؤمنين. Look at this. What does Ammar say? إني لأعلم أنها زوجته في الدنيا والآخرة. He's addressing the people of Kufa, telling them we have to fight this person. Raise your army, raise your troops. We have to fight this person. As the Prophet himself said, the horns of shaitan and the horns of fitna are from that house over there, which they tried to say, well, it's just the direction. Anyway, so the horns of shaitan, no problem. What did he say? He said, we have to raise an army. Ammar bin Yasir, unity. Unity, Ammar. Unity. Why don't you have unity? Ali ibn Abi Talib tells me to fight someone. You could throw your unity somewhere else. Ali ibn Abi Talib tells me to raise an army, me and his son, who also happens to be my imam. When they come and say that there's a test here. But which test? What is she on the earth? What's her existence? What is that marriage? It's a test. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ ابْتَلَاكُمْ. Do you know, I feel that when he says that, that is not just there. That was a vibration until 2024. Not just Allah is testing you, testing anyone who hears this. That Allah ابتلاكم ولكن الله ابتلاكم لتتبعوه أو إياها. That you either follow Allah or you follow her. And that's why I said in my Shahr Ramadan lectures, anyone who tells me the battle of Jamal, anyone who tells me that battle ended in 36 after Hijrah, I disagree with them. The battle of Jamal continues until today. What's the battle of the camel? One side that protects anything that the wife does and anything that the Sahaba do, and another side that protects anything Ali ibn Abi Talib does. Is there a difference? The same battle, Jamal, 36 AH, until today. The moment the Shia want to defend Amir al-Mu'mineen's haqq, automatically they are told, no, we will defend her and those with her until the last second. Ammar looked at the people of Kufa. What did Ammar have in his vision? Number one, not many were as close to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa as Ammar bin Yasir. Ammar knew that that lady, Rasul married her, it was a test for him, and she'd be a test for every Muslim in the future. Do you follow that lady blindly because you believe in a theory that the Quran doesn't support? That if a prophet marries someone, automatically they're going to Jannah? Or do you use your aql and you ask yourself a question that if someone is rude to Rasulullah to the extent that the heavens in Surah 66, verse number 4, tell them do tawbah for revealing the secret of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa in Surah Tahrim, in tatuba ila Allah faqad sagat qulubukuma. And that Allah says, perhaps, عَسَى رَبُّهُ إِن طَلَّقَكُنَّ أَن يُبْدِلَهُ أَزْوَاجًا خَيْرًا مِنْكُنَّ. Subhanallah, the story of Prophet Nuh and Prophet Lut, how their wives were a test for them and a test for the people of the time. Same thing with Aisha and Hafsa. They were a test for the Prophet of their time, and they became a test for the followers of that Prophet. Until today, who are the beacons of the Sunni world? Who are the beacons? The beacons remain Abu Bakr and his daughter, and Umar and his daughter. If you dare discuss this, you will just discuss it. Automatically, how dare you? You have a reading, I have a reading. But the beautiful thing about tonight is I used your book for the reading. If I had used my book, then you would say you're biased, you Shi'i. I'm not using my book tonight. I'm using Ammar bin Yasir. And I'm using Ammar saying that people were tested on that day with what? They were tested on that day. Do they follow the path of Allah? Or do they follow who? The path of Aisha. And that's why you find that this lady did not give peace to any member of Al Muhammad. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. How we have been silenced from talking. Phenomenal. Rasulullah, did she give him peace? I prove to you she didn't. Imam Ali, did she give him peace? Wallah, there is no dhulm like that battle of Jamal. And you know, they gloss over it. It's just a fitna. Gaza's a fitna. Gaza's a fitna or no? Because Gaza, you've sent 1 billion messages because innocent Muslims have died. Billions, because innocent Muslims have died. The death toll in Gaza and the death toll in Jamal, there's not a big difference between them. The difference in Gaza is that a non-Muslim, the one in Jamal, was a mother of Muslims. The non-Muslim killing you is one thing. When your mom is the one killing you is a different story. That battle of Jamal, wallah, it was a test for the people. Ali ibn Abi Talib on one side. And that's why that man was confused in the middle of the battle. You know the story. The man who came to Imam Ali. He's like, I'm baffled. He's like, why? He's like, Talha and Zubair and Aisha on one side. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Ammar bin Yasir, Hassan and Husain on the other. Whose side do I go on? And Mawla replied with the class of Mawla. He said to him, don't look at the personalities and then judge the truth. First look at the truth, then judge the personalities. But where is Ali ibn Abi Talib? Where is everyone else? Anyway. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, test. Imam Ali, test. Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, she passes away from this world, and this person's father is the one who angers her. Enough of that. And then to add insult to injury, Imam al-Hasan and his janazah. Allahu Akbar. Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam had a wasiyah from Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. One of the historians, they say that his wasiyah was that I want you, that when my janazah is being carried, pass by the qabr of my grandfather, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family. So I bid farewell. Who were of those who stood in the way? Aisha stood in the way. Look at the test. Either the path of Ali and Hassan and Hussein and Fatima, or the path of Aisha. Test from Allah. Wallah, that marriage is an ibtila. It's a trial from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of us. She stood in the way. Could not go past here. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. At that time, how old was Imam al-Hussein? He was 47 years of age on that day. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam looked at her and he said to her, you and your father were the first to disregard the privacy of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And Allah will hold you accountable for this. By Allah, no one is more knowledgeable than my brother. Number one. Number two, nobody knows the ta'weel of the Quran like my brother who has passed away. Number 2. Number 3, Allah said, don't let anyone enter the house of the Prophet until permission is given, but you let people enter the house. Number 4, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in the Quran, don't raise your voice above the voice of the Prophet. And you and your father raised their voices above the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Number 5, and listen to this line, by Allah, your father and his Faruq harassed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Imam al-Husayn, years before Karbala. How many years? 10 years before Karbala. By Allah, your father and his Faruq. Faruq is the title they give for Umar. And Siddiq is the title they give for Abu Bakr. So by Allah, your father and his Faruq. His Faruq, not the Ummah's Faruq. The Ummah's Siddiq and the Ummah's Faruq is my father, Ali ibn Abi Talib. By Allah, your father and his Faruq, they are the ones who harassed Rasulullah sallallahu. Because sometimes people ask me, say, you know what, Imam al-Hussein, Imam Ali, they were good with the caliphs. Why do we have, so what's this I've narrated? What did this come from thin air? What is this that I've narrated? Imam al-Hussein at the janazah of Imam al-Hassan, knowing what she is doing, makes it clear and is trying to tell everybody. And that's why his brother, Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiyyah, what did he say to her? He said to her, Yawman ala bal and Yawman ala jamal. One day you're on a mule and another day you're on a camel. Because on the day of the camel, the fitna between the Muslims that was there, that was a test from Allah in that lady. Whose side do you go on? Amir al-Mu'mineen were there. And then Imam al-Hassan's one, there was no camel. She rode a mule to come out to stop the janazah of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam from passing by Rasulullah's high. For us, what do we therefore say? We say that for us it is enough that when Rasulullah marries someone, or Nabi Nuh, or Nabi Lut, it may be their test from Allah in that area of their life. That is their test. How they deal with it, they have to maintain their discipline, their composure, their standards, their morality. But it was also a marriage to test us one day. That are we on the side of Allah or are we on the side of those related to? And that's why one of the worst things about the battle of Jamal, what was it? One of the worst things. If she could lead an army to fight Ali, then Yazid found his perfect excuse for Karbala. Why? Because when you look at the battle, what was the reality? Here is someone who has an army. The Battle of Jamal, I would say that you had what? On the battlefield itself, you must have had close to 25,000 people, 30,000 people. People were there on the battlefield, both sides. The lady herself, she taught them a lesson. Ali ibn Abi Talib, if he has to get killed, then kill him. And if Hassan has to get killed, then kill him. And if Hussein has to get killed, then kill him. Otherwise, why do we come to battle? So we exchange croissants or breakfast or something? We come to battle because we want to make sure that someone is killed. Isn't that true? So why have they come to the battle? They've come to the battle because they want to kill. She taught a lesson to the ummah. But Hind's grandson caught hold of that lesson. How? Firstly, his dad caught hold of that lesson. If you tell me I'm doing something wrong fighting Ammar bin Yasir and killing him at Siffin, your mom was the one who taught me the lesson at Jamal. Muawiyah is as bad as people make him out to be. Muawiyah says, I learned in the best university. The university taught me that you could go to a battle like Jamal and both sides could be called radiyallahu anhu by the end of the battle. True? Today, in the books of history, when you talk about the battle of Jamal, what do you say? Sayyidina X radiyallahu anhu killed Sayyidina Y radiyallahu anhu. Muawiyah's like, this sounds like a great idea. That means if I kill someone from Ali ibn Abi Talib's army, the books could also show that I'm radiyallahu anhu because they showed it at Jamal. Number 2, when Yazid looked at his dad showed, listen son, anyone who comes out to step against you, use the president of Aisha. She rose against Ali, and they still tell her Jannah is hers. So who dares one day tell you if you do the same to Hussein bin Ali? And that was it. That was the excuse you needed. Now Yazid got himself in a position, if I kill Hussein, and you say, but Hussein is the people of Jannah, my mother taught me that the people of Jannah, if they're in your way, it makes no difference. Get rid of them one by one. And that's why for us Shia, we saw the path clearly. Ali ma'al haq, wal haq ma'ali. Wherever Imam Ali was, the haq is there. Hassan was with the haq, and the haq is with Hassan. Hussein is with the haq. And that's why Rasulullah said these hadiths. You know why? Because he knew it's not fair that you have a test and I haven't shown you how to pass a test. A teacher will never teach his students without showing them how to pass an exam. True? Otherwise, he's not a good teacher. Rasulullah taught us how to pass the exam. Hold on to the banner of Ali ibn Abi Talib and his sons. Wherever you are, in whichever battle, Karbala, or you're in Jamal in Basra, or you're in Siffin and Raqqa, wherever you are, look around and see where is Ali ibn Abi Talib's name. The moment you see it, then know that that is the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whoever opposes them, that is a completely different path. Therefore for us, a prophet, his wife could end up being the best person, and his wife could end up being an enemy of the religion. An imam, his wife could be the best person, or his wife could be an enemy of the religion. We don't say that just because someone's married to a prophet or an imam, they're going to Jannah. No, everybody according to their merit. But you Shia don't like the wives. What do you mean? I love Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam. I am the dust underneath the feet of my grandmother. I am not even worthy of that. I also love Salama alayhi salam. Salama, she was there around the time of Karbala, wasn't she? Salama was there. When I see her, I love her. But you Shia don't like the wives. So I've just mentioned to you a couple of wives. Maria al-Qibtiyya, Mary the Coptic, is the wife of Rasulullah. I love her. Don't accuse me of not liking. I have a barometer, that's the Quran. The Quran has shown me there are different levels to the household of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Likewise, when it comes to the imams, do we love all the wives of the imams? No. But she's married to an imam. But if she disrespects that Imam X, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam divorced his wife. Imam al-Baqir divorced his wife. Why? Because she insulted Amir al-Mu'mineen in front of him. Imam al-Baqir, she's his wife. X, out. Why? Ali ibn Abi Talib is a red line. You're my wife, yes. You're Muslimah, yes. But you insult Amir al-Mu'mineen? Sorry, you cannot be. Imam al-Jawad, poisoned by his wife. Just because she's married to an imam doesn't make her ma'sooma. Where is the aql in that? Just because you're the wife of someone religious means you're automatically going to be on their path? Likewise, Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, his wife poisoned him, didn't she? But she's married to an imam, she must be going to heaven. No. It's about how you behave with the message of that imam. Yes? And that's why you find Salama's presence became an inspiration for who? Salama's presence became an inspiration for the other wives in Medina at that time. She became an inspiration for the other wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, but for the other wives in Medina at that time as well. Which time? The time that everybody was heading off to Karbala. Yes? Because when the ladies were about to leave Medina, these ladies who were wives of imams, these ladies who were daughters of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, these ladies, many of them knew that this was going to be a difficult moment, leaving the land of Medina. And no doubt it was a difficult moment. But the presence of Salama, al-Mu'mineen, had a calming effect on some of these ladies. Because they knew that this is the wife of our grandfather. This is al-Mu'mineen. This is a beloved lady to our grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they also knew that this lady knows something about what we will go through. Yes? Because she has some earth that might turn red one day. Yes? They know that this lady is special. that this lady sat with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saw him cry when Husayn was in his lap. So for Rabab and for Ishaq and for Zainab alayhi salam and the others who are about to leave Medina, all of them begun to bid farewell to Salama on a night like this. They began to bid farewell to her, and they began to tell her at this moment that inshallah we will all see you very soon. They were leaving, but they had to bid farewell to some of the people there, yes? And what type of people do you bid farewell to at this moment? The type of people that you bid farewell to are like who? Are like, for example, that young Fatima al-Alila, yes? That Fatima al-Sughra. You bid farewell to her. She began to bid farewell to the rest of her family. Imagine her, she's looking at the face of Ali al-Akbar in the hope that one day that face would come back again. And she looks at Qasim ibn al-Hasan, and she looks at Sayyida Zainab alayha salam. She bids farewell to all of them in the hope that there'll be a day when they'll all return. Everyone's embracing one another. The ladies are hugging one another. A wonderful wife of a prophet was hugging everybody. But there was a wonderful wife of an imam hugging everyone as well. Who? al-Baneen. How many of you tonight have a hajjah in your heart? How many of you? There are some of us in this hall, lower your heads. There are some of us in this hall who have a hajjah, something of our hajjat. Some of us with our children, some of us with our parents, some of us remember our marhumeen who are not with us today. I tell you, ask Allah, say, Ya Allah, in the name of al-Baneen, I want you to answer my du'as, Ya Allah, tonight. I want to shed a tear in honor of al-Baneen, because if ever there was a lady who was the best of wives of an imam of Ahlul Bayt, then it was this lady. And this lady, she bid Zainab farewell, yes, and she bid who else farewell? She bid Rabab farewell. She bid Fidda farewell, but also this lady had to bid farewell to her own boys as well, yes. Where is Abbas? Come, my dear Abbas, next to me and place your arms around me, yes. Abbas came, he embraced his mother, and then his brother Ja'far came and he embraced his mother, and then his brother Abdullah came and he embraced his mother, and then his brother Uthman came and he embraced his mother, and it's as if his mother was looking at them. Look after Sayyid over there, your Imam. Look after Imam al-Hussein. Make me proud. When I married his father, I promised his father that I'd give his father 4 valiant warriors who would protect the life of Abu Abdullah. So look after Abu Abdullah with everything that you have. Make sure you protect him and lay your bodies in front of him wherever he may be. Abbas looked towards his mother's eyes. He said to her, Mother, I'll be there for Abu Abdullah, and I'll make sure that my brothers are there alongside me as well. Not al-Baneen, any of the mothers who are listening to this tonight, you know, when you send out your children towards the school, when you send out those children towards the school, what happens? What happens is that you wait for them to come back, don't you? You want them to come back home safe. Imagine 1 month has gone. She has heard nothing about her boys. And then 2 months, and then 3 months, and then 4 months. And then after Muharram, no news. Safar, she's waiting. What's happening? Imagine that feeling. I want every mother to imagine not hearing news from your child who you love. She would wait in Medina. Is there any news? Have you heard anything about Karbala? No news. Okay, I'll wait. Again she would ask. Again, no news. No news. All of a sudden someone came and said, I have news from Karbala. When they call Khawla called out and he said, I have news from Karbala. Naturally, she wanted to inquire. Some poets, what do they say? They say it's as if he asked, and who is the lady inquiring? And they said to him, don't you know her? And he said, no, who is she? They said, it's al-Banin. The moment they said al-Banin, he called out, may Allah reward you over the death of your son. The moment she heard this, she said one thing. Imagine, I want you to understand what a wife of an imam is. When the man has just said, may Allah reward you over the death of your son, you'd imagine that this moment she'd say, oh my dear boy. Listen to what she replies. Tell me about Abu Abdullah only. Allah. Why? Because Abbas is Fatima's son and Hussein is her son. Yes. Tell me about Abu Abdullah. He said to her, may Allah reward you over the death of your son Uthman. She said, tell me about Abu Abdullah. He said to her, may Allah reward you over the death of your son Aoun. She said, tell me only about Abu Abdullah. Then the next line, all of you know that line. Tell me about Abu Abdullah. He said to her, may Allah reward you over the death of your son Abbas. Allah. The moment she heard Abbas, she dropped the child on the ground. But then she got up and she called out, tell me about Abu Abdullah. That lady, when Medina was left, that lady had bid farewell to Zainab alayhi salam and to Fidda alayhi salam. Now Zainab had returned from Sham. Zainab was in the house. She told me before that, she said, Fidda, I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to welcome anyone for now. Suddenly the door knocked. When the door knocked, Fidda went to the door. When she got near the door, she opened. She saw al-Banin. What do I do? Do I tell Zainab or no? The moment she saw al-Banin, she turned around. She said, Sayyida Zainab, you told me not to welcome anyone, but it's al-Banin at the door. Zainab ran her to the door, and al-Banin ran her to Zainab. One calling out, Wa Abbasa, and another calling out, Wa Husaina, and another calling out, Wa Shahida. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ya Allah, raise us with Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Allow us to be amongst the companions of Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman. Ya Allah, bless us with ziyarat al-Husayn alayhi salam and shafa'at al-Husayn alayhi salam. The originators of this majlis, Ya Allah, bless them on the path and the wilayah of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Safeguard us, Ya Allah, that we pass whatever test you place in front of us in the way Muhammad and Al Muhammad passed the tests that were placed in front of them. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the Surah Al-Fatiha, but before it the loudest of your salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah. مأتم الحسين يا حسين يا حسين
Hussein, Ya 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 Hussein. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو. 3 دن کی پیاس میں شبیر کا وہ امتحان، 3 دن کی پیاس میں شبیر کا وہ امتحان، سرزمین کربلا روتی تھی رویا آسمان، سرزمین کربلا روتی تھی رویا آسمان، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو. حضرت عباس کے بازو قلم جب ہو گئے، حضرت عباس کے بازو قلم جب ہو گئے، کہتی تھی زینب سروں سے اٹھ گیا ہے صاحبہ، کہتی تھی زینب سروں سے اٹھ گیا ہے صاحبہ، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں. جیو ماتمی. آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو. جب سرے شبیر زندہ میں سکینہ کو ملا، جب سرے شبیر زندہ میں سکینہ کو ملا، رو کے دکھلانے لگی رخ پر تماچوں کے نشان، رو کے دکھلانے لگی رخ پر تماچوں کے نشان، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں، آج بھی شبیر کو سینہ اکبر میں برچی ٹوٹ کر جب رہ گئی سینہ اکبر میں برچی ٹوٹ کر جب رہ گئی کہتے تھے امداد کو جلد آئیے اے بابا جان کہتے تھے امداد کو جلد آئیے اے بابا جان آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو ہے روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو ہے روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو تین دن کی پیاس میں شبیر کا وہ امتحان تین دن کی پیاس میں شبیر کا وہ امتحان سرزمین کربلا روتی تھی رویا آسمان سرزمین کربلا روتی تھی رویا آسمان آج بھی شبیر کو ہے روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا جہاں آج بھی شبیر کو روتا ہے یہ سارا
حسین یا حسین ورنہ تجھے بھی سارا ورنہ تجھے بھی سارا بھلا دے گا زمانہ اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا ورنہ تجھے بھی سارا ورنہ تجھے بھی سارا بھلا دے گا زمانہ اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا خیمے سے ننگے پاؤں وہ چلی کس طرح زینب خیمے سے ننگے پاؤں وہ چلے کس طرح زینب یہ بات علمدار کو یہ بات علمدار کو ہرگز نہ بتانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے کربلا حسین کے غم کو تجھ کو کیا ہے کرب و بلا کس نے مولا تجھ کو کیا ہے کہ وہ بلا کس نے معلا یہ خون ہے رسول کا یہ خون ہے رسول کا اس کو نہ چھپانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو بالوں سے منہ چھپائے ہوئے جاتی ہے زینب بالوں سے منہ چھپائے ہوئے جاتی ہے زینب اے تیز ہوا ان کو نہ اے تیز ہوا ان کو نہ چہرے سے ہٹانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو اب باپ کا سینہ نہیں پا یہ گی سکینہ اب باپ کا سینہ نہیں پا یہ گی سکینہ اس خاک کے بستر پہ اس خاک کے بستر پہ سکینہ کو سلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا اے چاند ستاروں علی اکبر کی شہادت اے چاند ستاروں علی اکبر کی شہادت صغرا کو نا رسول کے صغرا کو نا رسول کے روزے پہ سنانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین نہ بھلانا کربلا نہر فرات کی تڑپتی ہوں موجیں نہر فرات کی تڑپتی ہوں موجیں عباس علمدار کو عباس علمدار کو صورت نہ دکھانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ بھلانا کربلا حسین کے غم کو نہ کربلا حسین خیمے سے ننگے پاؤں چلی کس طرح زینب خیمے سے ننگے پاؤں چلی کس طرح زینب یہ بات علمدار کو یہ بات علمدار یہ علمدار کو ہرگز نہ بتا یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین حسین
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الفاتحة.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا خديجة الكبرى، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذريتك علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم كن لوليك حجة ابن الحسن صلوات وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. يا حسين لبيك يا حسين.